Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, whether you like it or not. I go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
Just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. And by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful.
Well. What do we have here? It looks like Sean Diddy Combs is literally doing a Tiger King, and he has officially started begging for Trump to pardon him. Now listen, who knows if Trump will pardon him? I'm guessing no. But that's not going to stop Diddy from trying, because, baby, Diddy's whole life is built on audacity, but this might just be a step too far.
Diddy breaks down in jail and asks Donald Trump for help. This story of power, scandal, and the search for truth is as riveting as any Hollywood blockbuster. But trust me, this isn't fiction. We're diving deep into Diddy files, unraveling a possible bombshell that could shake things up. From Sean Diddy Combs' shocking drama to his surprising ties with political figures and the fallout from his past scandals, we're covering it all. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, Diddy breaks down in jail and reaches out to Trump for help. Yeah, you heard that right. So buckle up, because things are about to get heated. Let's jump right in. Diddy and Trump, a curious connection.
I am a very strict and focused businesswoman because working for Diddy for 6 years trained me to have to be perfect.
Working for Diddy?
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. He's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that question.
Oh, wow. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Donald Trump and Sean Diddy Combs were regulars at the posh social parties attended by Manhattan's elite. They were frequent guests at parties and galas, and even appeared together in ads from the 1990s to the 2000s. In the past, Diddy has spoken highly of Trump's business ability, and Trump has once called Diddy a buddy. But how serious was this bromance? Did their relationship go beyond just doing business and showing respect for one another? Or did it involve more personal connections? Despite being charged with serious offenses like racketeering and sex trafficking, Diddy has continued to deny the accusations. He allegedly sought out Trump, who is now the President of the United States again, for assistance during his public breakdown in jail, which was caused by his legal struggles. Their relationship seemed amicable at first glance. After all, the self-acclaimed bad boy Diddy even made a passing reference to Trump in his song lyrics. However, President Trump has remained awfully quiet about Diddy's travails. Some observers have suggested that Trump has been quiet simply to protect his political aspirations. Others say their relationship was simply for the cameras. One businessman endorses the other in order to solidify their business reputations. Was there, however, more to their relationship than meets the eye? Was their relationship more complex than that of two prosperous New York businessmen? What transpires when one of them encounters failure, when the tide changes? In light of Diddy's present predicament, how could this long-standing connection manifest? The catalyst: Diddy's ex and the spark of scandal. The accusations made by Cassandra Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, set the domino effect for Sean Diddy Combs' fall in motion. Using the Adult Survivors Act, Cassie sued Diddy in November of 2023, claiming that he had subjected her to rape, physical abuse, and sex trafficking when they were together. A quick settlement was reached the very next day, following the filing of the lawsuit, as her allegations painted a bleak image of control and manipulation. But it was only the start. Cassie had already leveled allegations. more victims came forward afterward, accusing Diddy of comparable horrific crimes, leading to multiple lawsuits. How did Cassie's case set Diddy up for the legal trouble he's in now? Diddy's fall and last-ditch appeal.
This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Looking ahead to the present day, Diddy's entire universe has been flipped on its head. He awaits sentencing in a Brooklyn prison where he may spend the rest of his life behind bars after being arrested in September 2024 on multiple allegations, including trafficking and racketeering. The strain is apparently too much for him, and he has reportedly reached out to Donald Trump, the one person with the power to change public or legal opinion, because he has broken down. But the significance of this request is unclear. Is it a sign of desperation or a strategic move, knowing Trump's history with high-profile cases? Is Trump Diddy's exit strategy now that he's back in power? Is this really happening, or is it simply another overblown headline? Now let's examine it more closely. The calls for transparency. The Diddy files. In the middle of all this legal turmoil, an unexpected demand emerged from the political sphere. The so-called Diddy files are said to be a list or set of files containing documents that may name politicians, celebrities, and other powerful people linked to Diddy's alleged parties, the notoriously famous freak-offs or misconduct. Senator Ted Cruz has openly demanded that President Trump disclose them. The most outrageous accusations allegedly occurred at Diddy's notorious freak-off parties, and these Diddy files apparently contain a list or collection of documents indicating who attended such events and what precisely they did in there. Due to the high-profile character of the accused and the victims, there is a demand for transparency, which is why the public and media are curious about these files. What does the potential release of these files imply for those implicated, and why is a figure like Ted Cruz concerned about them? Jay-Z's shadow and Diddy's light.
Thank you for staying up late. It's about that time to kick it off for The Factor Uncensored, and we want to welcome you for joining us tonight. We start off with news that has social media, politicians, and fans in an uproar. Billionaire rapper Jay-Z is accused of raping a 13-year-old girl accused, along with Sean P. Diddy Combs. A Jane Doe in a lawsuit says the assault happened at an after-party that was following the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City back in 2000.
Jay-Z, another hip-hop tycoon, has been mentioned in lawsuits, with Diddy adding more complexity to this narrative. Allegations of assaulting a minor in 2000 are especially troubling. Jay-Z is countersuing and describes the allegations as nothing more than an extortion attempt. Both Jay-Z and Sean Combs have vehemently denied the allegations.
Rap mogul Jay-Z is denying sexual assault allegations filed in a new civil lawsuit. The suit claims that he and Sean Diddy Combs raped a 13-year-old back in 2000. Combs remains in jail, awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. He's pleaded not guilty and denies any wrongdoing.
Not only is Jay-Z now under the same legal scrutiny as Diddy and Trump, but his relationship with each of them has also come under scrutiny. Mark Kasowitz, who was Trump's lawyer before, now represents both artists, which further complicates the legal situation. What effect will this incident have on the storied friendship between Jay-Z and Diddy? How about Jay-Z's connection to politics? Does Donald Trump have anything to do with Mark Kasowitz being contracted to represent the accused? Commerce, not politics, between Jay-Z and Trump.
But when Clara Amfo asked him about the current state of the nation, Jay-Z took it into his own hands to talk about how he feels about the current U.S. president.
You know, this guy, I'm looking at him like, man, this is a joke. you know, I can't even say with all due respect, with all disrespect, he's not a very sophisticated man, especially when it comes to, you know, the ideas of.
Rather than interacting on a political level, Jay-Z and Trump have worked together in the past. Despite the fact that their professional spheres intersected, Jay-Z has been vocally critical of Trump, especially on social concerns. The fact that Mark Kasowitz, who was Trump's lawyer before leaving, is now representing Diddy and Jay-Z in their court disputes adds intrigue to the situation. Is the goal of obtaining first-rate legal counsel the only motivation, or does this link reflect a more substantial alliance? One can't help but question if there is more going on, considering Trump's track record of using relationships for personal and professional benefit. Where exactly do the lines of allegiance and law meet in this complex web? Stay tuned, we're going deeper into this rabbit hole. Remembering the Jeffrey Epstein, secrecy and scandal are words that come to mind when one thinks about Jeffrey Epstein.
Even in death, the secrets of Jeffrey Epstein remain tightly guarded. But earlier this year, I spearheaded a wired investigation that uncovered the data of almost 200 mobile phones belonging to visitors to his infamous pedophile island. The data was so precise, we were able to map the paths of these visitors to within centimeters, including their neighborhoods, buildings of origins, and the paths they took to get to the island. These digital trails document the numerous trips of wealthy and influential individuals, seemingly undeterred by Epstein's status as a convicted sex offender.
There is ample evidence linking Trump to Epstein, as the two were prominent figures in New York's affluent social circles during the 1990s. Although Trump has put some space between himself and Epstein following his legal issues, the shadow of Epstein's crime loomed large during Trump's presidency. Now parallels are being drawn between Diddy's situation and Epstein's past. Allegations of sex trafficking were leveled against both individuals, and it was said that they utilized their connections to influential elites to shield their activities and get away with whatever crimes they committed. Could Diddy become the music industry's Jeffrey Epstein? What role could Trump play in this story as it develops? Political chess, Trump's dilemma. Speculation has been rife as a result of Trump's recent unilateral order to declassify information related to JFK, RFK, and MLK assassinations. Will he permit the public release of the Epstein files as well? Are there any Diddy files out there?
I have been the most transparent president and administration in the history of our country by far.
The Trump administration has hinted at transparency, but will he protect or expose himself, considering his connections to Epstein and Diddy? Trump's association and connection to Jeffrey Epstein and other high-profile legal and personal controversies have cast doubt over his suitability in the handling of Diddy files. The consequences of Trump if his name is mentioned as one of the patrons or attendees of Diddy's freak-offs in the Diddy files could be enormous, in spite of Trump's willingness and openness to declassify the data. Many people doubt that Trump would put himself out there for the purpose of transparency, preferring to keep all parties involved, including himself, from prying eyes. It is also troubling, some may say, that Mark Kasowitz, once Trump's lawyer, is now representing Jay-Z and Diddy. Is this indicative of a more complex scheme, or is it simply an issue requiring legal expertise? Now Kasowitz, who was known for his aggressive defense tactics throughout Trump's early presidency, must navigate the rigors of these allegations. Which will be more important, transparency or political connections? The stakes are at an all-time high. The legal and public implications. The Diddy files have the ability to influence public opinion and potentially have legal consequences for Diddy's ongoing case. The discovery of fresh evidence or the identities of important persons in these papers can change the trajectory of the trial, giving the prosecution or Diddy's defense team more tools to work with. A heated dispute about ethics, privacy, and justice in the digital age arises when the public's right to know is pitted against the privacy of persons who have not yet been officially accused. In what ways might the disclosure or withholding of these documents influence the verdict on Diddy's case? Also, how does it reflect the way we as a culture see responsibility and fame? The balance of power and justice. In this high-stakes game of power, fame, and justice, the world watches as Diddy awaits his fate in jail. Trump's decision on the Diddy files could be an effort towards historical transparency or a protective measure for people in his inner circle. With Diddy allegedly pleading with Trump, Trump's former lawyer representing him in court, and political heavyweights like Ted Cruz applying pressure, it's clear that personal, legal, and political strands are intricately linked. How will this case be remembered in the future? How will it alter our view of the relationship between famous people, politics, justice, and fairness? Time will tell, but rest assured that we will be here to analyze every development as it unfolds. What do you think Trump should do with the Diddy files? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on interesting stories like this.